Welcome back to our amazing virtual summit from idea to legacy, where we get to talk about how to take that brilliant idea that we have, that drive, that passion, and turn it into profit. Today, with beautiful Rebecca Whitman, all the way from Los Angeles. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
I am super excited. I have to read her bio to you guys because she's just amazing. So I couldn't memorize that all. I have to read it to you real quick. So check this out. Rebecca is a success mentor. She is a graduate with honors from Princeton University. She is an author of the book, and now, like, drum roll, please, everybody. How to make a six-figure income working part-time. How perfect is that for this show? I mean, this couldn't be better. So she's also a host of a top-rated podcast called Balanced, Beautiful, Abundant. And she has so many achievements. She is a coach. She stood on the stage, virtual and real, with people like Jack Canfield, like Les Brown, like Grant Cardone. Like, I mean, she is out there, like she's huge. Now, Rebecca, I know before you had this phenomenal online career, you had or you still have amazing and as impressive career as an actress. So could you please walk us through that journey and tell us how it all started and what made you open up this new, world of possibility and become this amazing coach that you are today? And was it easy? And how does that work together?
That is a great question. So, all my life, I dreamt of being an actress ever since I was 3 years old. But I followed the path of going to school, getting the good grades. I graduated from Princeton, moved to New York City. I thought I wanted to work on the corporate side of the entertainment industry,
Mhm.
but I couldn't get a job. So, I ended up joining a network marketing company. And in that industry, I studied with successful people who were literally rags to riches, self made millionaires. And I figured I would move to LA with enough money to not have to be a waitress. So that did not quite happen. I moved to LA, but I was able to find a sales job at a children's acting school. So I had a lot of free time for auditions. I did have small parts on big shows like Friends, CSI, and 24,
Yep.
but I started studying spiritual teachings. I already had my sales training. So fast forward to 2016, my father was dying as my marriage was unraveling. It was a really hard time. And my dad asked me to write something. He said, I don't care if it's a book, an essay, a magazine article, write something. My dad died. My marriage ended. I was sitting in my financial planner's office in yoga clothes. And he's like, why don't you write a book teaching women how to make six figures while you're in workout clothes all the time? And I was like, that's it. God spoke through my financial planner. And I decided to write a book called How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time.
Is that amazing? Like how things happen and we think it's like the end of the world for us, but there's always something that comes out of it and it helps us rise, like that phoenix, right? It's so beautiful. And I hear it over and over and over with every single successful person. It was not an easy journey. There was a breakdown before there could be a breakthrough. So beautiful. You made it work beautifully. And you're such a nice person. Like, I love your personality. Like, you guys, you need to understand it is not easy to do the work we do. And so, like, for example, with this summit, like, it's so many moving parts, so much is going on. And you know who is a true leader, because true leaders are on top of things. And Rebecca was first one to submit everything we asked of her, like in excellence. I was mind blown. I was like, who is this lady again? So thank you for your leadership, my dear. How we do anything is how we do everything. That's what
You
I
know,
teach. That's what I believe.
Lenka, do you know why I work so fast?
Why? Tell us.
Because money loves.
Yes.
I
Yes.
do everything. Like, if I don't do it now, I'm going to procrastinate. And if I procrastinate, then I'll forget about it and then it'll slip through the cracks. So that's one of my time hacks, time management hacks, is I just do everything in the moment as it comes.
Yeah. And tell us more about what you do. What do you coach? Because I know there is like a 7 layers to it, and you basically walk person through all 7. You help them find balance. Is that right?
So I help women achieve work life balance so they can have more fun and freedom. And I help them do this through aligning 7 pillars of abundance.
Yeah.
So most people think abundance is just money, but it's actually all 7 areas of your life. So we start with the spirituality, we get spiritually centered and grounded. I really believe in having a morning practice. Then we work on the fitness. Health is wealth. Health is our number one resource more than anything. So we work on our fitness. The next thing is our emotional life, being centered and calm so we can create our legacy. The next thing is our romantic life. The next thing is our mental, always learning, always expanding. And I just acknowledge the people listening to this because you're expanding your mental life right now by listening to this wonderful summit. Your social life, aligning with people who believe in your dreams and goals. And finally, your financial life. The finances are the last pillar to come into alignment. A lot of people, Lenka, think, oh, I'll make a lot of money, then
Yeah.
I'll hire a personal trainer, then I'll get in shape, then I'll date, then I'll meet my soulmate, then I'll be emotionally happy, then I'll have time to meditate. But these pillars are in order for a reason.
Yeah. It's the other way around. And it's how we are being. It's not what we are doing or what we are having. So, like you said, many people have it backwards. They're like, when I have money, I'll do all these things, then I become that person. No, you have to become the person in order to do these things and have that money, right? So it's not the other way around. So yeah, so it's just one of these things that we sometimes don't know. As we go through life, we are conditioned: go to school, find a job, have a career, excel in that career. And many people are in that place right now. So what is your advice to someone who is watching this show right now and maybe they don't know what that first step would be, like how to get started if they wanted to start a business online?
Yes. So a lot of people are realizing that corporate America as we knew it is dying. We saw
Mhm.
that during the pandemic, right? So driving to an office for 40 years and getting a gold watch and a pension plan at 65, it doesn't work. So you want to find something online, find something. Number one rule is get excited. So whatever you're excited about, whatever you're passionate about, I don't know what that is. Is it writing? Is it animals? Is it human rights? Is it a beauty product? Whatever you're passionate about, find a product, good, or service in that niche. So the first rule is get excited. The second rule is pay attention. So find a mentor, find a coach that can help you that's already done it.
Yeah.
If you find somebody who has what you want, you do what they did and you'll get what they got. Lenka, it's a journey. Like, being an entrepreneur is not an overnight success story, especially starting out. There's a lot of mistakes and a lot of learning experiences, and you just have to stay persistent and never quit.
Yes, I 100% agree. What I usually tell people when they ask me this question is like, when you said the first step, right? You need to get excited. People sometimes don't know how to get excited or what to get excited about. So I tell them, imagine, like, go back years back when you were that little kid. You're excited all the time, right? What was that one thing you enjoyed doing most? And then go to that and see if you can create a business around that. So for someone it'll be, I don't know, doodling and coloring books. For someone it'll be reading and writing. For someone could be something else. So we all have that one thing we're really good at, whether it's a sport or some other hobby, where we can create beautiful business around it, and it all can be done online. So that's the opportunity these days. And so, Rebecca, I have a question for you. So would you recommend to people so that they start part-time and transition into full-time business? Or would you just cut all the, strings and just jump into it full on, like just be done with the corporate and start a business online? What do you think is better?
So I believe the side hustle. I believe in keeping your regular job so you have your bills paid and you live comfortably,
Yeah.
and you start your side hustle because you don't want to get into survival mode. When
Mm-hmm.
you're in survival mode, your customers are going to smell your desperation, and that is a huge turnoff. But if you are comfortable, if you have all your bills paid and you have your job and you're doing this passion project on the side, because you're excited and you love it and you want to be of service to people, then that is going to help your business grow a lot faster. I know some coaches say just quit your job and go for it, but for me, I like having the security of having my bills paid and then doing a project on the side, which I call side hustle or passion project.
That is so true. And I do the same. I still have a full-time job, which my audience knows that, but this audience probably doesn't know that yet. I still do have a full-time job and I have two businesses. So it's definitely possible. It's all about your time management. It's all about how you organize yourself, and you can find help. Like there are so many things involved with online businesses that virtual assistants could do for very little money, right? You can absolutely hire someone to help you with that and just focus on your zone of genius, right? So how would you define zone of
It's
genius?
about
And mhm,
Well, real quick, I want to speak into what you just said, Linka.
mhm,
It's about multiple income streams.
yes.
It's not just having one income, because then if you have a bad month in your business and you fall apart financially, you want to have multiple income streams. So if one month is bad in your business, you're still doing great in your job, and maybe you have another business, like you said, you had two. So I actually have four income streams, and I still have a part-time job as well. So it's all about having those multiple income streams. So the zone of genius is, what are you good at? What do people come to you for advice? Are you good at relationship advice? Are you good at beauty advice? Do your friends ask you, what they should wear on their dates? Like maybe you're great at fashion, or maybe you're great with animals. Maybe all dogs love you. Maybe you're great with babies. Maybe babies love you. Like, what are you good at? And stick to that. So my zone of genius is talking. I love talking. I love communicating, a podcast, YouTube videos, a lot of content that has to do with on camera. And then I hire people to help me with all the details.
Fantastic. So what is one advice you would give to your younger self? Like if you were back in high school and you didn't know what's ahead of you, would you do anything differently, or would you give yourself, what advice would you give yourself?
That is great. I would have moved to Hollywood a lot younger, because I moved to Hollywood when I was 30. And I felt like the other actresses had a head start, but I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So I don't want to like doubt myself. So I would tell my younger self to not care about what people think,
Mm,
to just be authentic, be bold, be yourself. And not everybody's going to like you. And that's okay. That's a good thing. That means that if you're being polarizing, that means you're being a leader. And people used to love me or hate me. And I was so upset about it. I'm like, I want everyone to like me. It
yeah.
caused me a lot of pain that everybody didn't like me. And I would tell that younger self, it doesn't matter what people think. It only matters what you think of you and what your God thinks of you, whatever that higher power is, God, the universe, Allah, Jesus, whatever. So be strong, be bold, don't care about what people think.
That is so amazing, because my mentor always says it's like, don't be vanilla. Don't be vanilla. You want to have opinion, and not everybody will like it, obviously. So haters are good. You want haters. And for me to get that, it was like, really? Like, okay. And then, I had to deal with that, but it's all good. Like, people will always have different opinions, so we just have to work with it, right? So I definitely agree with that. So tell us, my dear, tell us where we can find you, and tell us about that wonderful gift you are bringing today to our audience.
Okay, great. I just want to say one more thing before we go to that. There's a famous quote, and it says, "You can tell the size of the leader by the amount of arrows in his back."
Yeah.
So if you're a great leader, you're going to have a lot of people not like you, and that is just fine. So the way to keep in touch with me on Instagram is at Rebecca E. Whitman. Same with Twitter, at Rebecca E. Whitman. My website is RebeccaElizabethWhitman.com. My podcast is on Spotify and Apple. It's called Balance, Beautiful, Abundant. And I have an amazing gift. So being in balance is the key, having all these 7 pillars in alignment. And I have literally a 2-minute quiz that will give you a snapshot of where you're at with these pillars. The goal is to have all 7 pillars to a level 10, but it's just naturally somebody has like a great relationship, but their finances aren't in order. Somebody is in great shape, but they don't have as many friends as they want. So you get to actually look at your life and see what's working and what's not working. And with that great knowledge, now you can start, building up the areas that need support.
Beautiful, perfect. And I cannot wait because I know my life needs some balancing. So, as everybody's probably. So, I cannot wait. And is there any last thought that you would share with our audience before we say goodbyes?
Yeah, so I used to put my happiness in the future. Like, I'll be happy when I graduate from college, get married, have a kid. And I kept putting it out into the future. And I was like the donkey chasing the carrot that never got to be happy. So now I bring my happiness back to today. What can I do today to make me happy? How can I find the joy in today? So that's what I'm going to leave your listeners with. Find the joy in today, the little things, taking a walk, petting your dog, snuggling up under a cozy blanket, having a delicious meal. Find the joy in today, and you string together a lot of happy days. And before you know it, you're living a happy life. And that's the goal.
So much wisdom, Rebecca. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your knowledge, your amazing wisdom with us. And for you, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see each other tomorrow. Remember to log in and listen to another speaker who is going to be mind blowing, just like Rebecca was. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.